Does your child have one of these? Or maybe they have like one of these. They're pretty cool. So many things that we can do with them. And they've been like really, really popular. But they actually have a really great purpose. Do you know what they're called? Like we know this. It's a fidget spinner. It spins. It's great. This known as a puppet, it's also a fidget. What is a fidget? It is something that we can move, something that we can do. It is something we can fidget with. I actually love that term of calling them fidgets because it's really what they are. I think they're great. I think there are so many great benefits to these, but I also know that they're very popular and every kid just seems to want to have like fun stuff like this. But I really want to look at why we have them. Like, what do we use them for? And are they really worth it? Hi, and welcome to Learning Life. And thank you so much for joining me today as I want to look at these like fun little, things that we can play with, but have like this purpose to them. I also want to say, don't go away. At the end, I have another giveaway. I'm a poet today. No, stay tuned for that. Well, look, when it comes to fidgets, for your children, you can really get two main responses. You can love them or hate them. Or maybe you're one of these people that both loves them and hates them, okay? You can love them because they really are great for children who needs them. But you can hate them because they can become a source of tension, like within a classroom. I know I had that as a teacher. I loved it for the kids that needed them, and I hated it. Oh, one gets lost, or they had this, or they took mine. Like, everybody, let's just calm down. Because, if one child has one, they've got a fidget spinner, before you know it, everyone else has one. Look, these were a craze. So were puppets, and they're still popular, and they're still around. And they might be popular with all children, but really for the children that need them, they are worth it. And it's really worth investigating this and like finding out, what do we need them for and what do we use them for? All of us probably are going, yeah, I have some problems with focus sometimes and I need to do some things. And so like, what is that? For me, I love that. I love investigating. I love looking and I love bringing this stuff to you, which is why I'm bringing this to you today. Thank you so much for watching. And hey, it's not too late to like, subscribe, comment, or share with a friend. Now, as a classroom teacher and later on as a learning coach, I have seen firsthand how good fidgets can be for focus. Now, I myself, throughout college, I'm listening to lectures and I was doodling. I still do it now if I'm listening to podcasts or anything like that I'm there like with my paper, and I tend to do spirals and like in little circles and flowers. There seems to be something about loops for me that just really help in my doodling. And I remember sort of getting in trouble sometimes, like stop doodling, but I'm like, I needed to focus. And I really don't actually have like attention issues. It is something that just absolutely super duper helps me. Now in meetings, you might find me twitching my foot to help me stay on task. In particular, like if I don't have pen or paper, sometimes I am there on my phone, like playing a bubble pop game just because I need to stay on task. Do you find yourself like needing to like doodle or move? I think we would all say that we do. We're there, we just sort of keep moving. We've got to do something. So why? Can fidgets help? Are they actually really a good thing? How can fidgets help? So fidgets are good for helping children focus for several reasons. And I am going to focus like on children in this because this is really like what I want to bring to you, like why they're good for children. So there's sensory stimulation. So they provide something like that it's tactile. Maybe it is visual or maybe it is auditory feedback, but especially that sensory stimulation, it can help some children concentrate. They're providing a sensory outlet while their mind focuses on a task. So we're sort of splitting ourselves. My brain is here, my hand is here, and it's actually a good thing. It can also have a calming effect. Especially for children with attention difficulties or with anxiety, they can keep their hands occupied, and this will reduce that restlessness. It can help to bring that sense of relaxation and focus, especially like balls, those cush balls. Those things are great. It can also improve body awareness. So some fidget toys, like stress balls, like anything sort of textured, can help improve that body awareness. We've got that sensory integration. Oh, I'm doing this. This is what it is. And so that's going to like enhance that concentration on task because they're now like their body sensations. Some kids just need to be able to have something in order to ground them and to focus. It can also help with that excess energy. Some children have a high level of energy, and fidgets can provide that outlet for that energy without being disruptive. They're doing something without being disruptive. So they're redirecting that energy to like a toy, even like that fidget spinner. We've got energy moving here. I'm doing something. And they can actually then better regulate like their movements, stay more focused, stay on task. Can also increase that engagement, okay? Having something to fidget with, better attention. Again, notice that we're looking at like that focus, that active engagement with it. And this can really help whether like maybe they think it's just boring, like this thing, oh, I don't want to be learning that, or maybe it's challenging. But again, by having something that they can do, it's going to increase that engagement. And this is what we want for our children, especially if it's otherwise can become overwhelming. A simple fidget is something that can help take that overwhelmingness away, help them to relax, and help them to do what they need to do, whether it's schoolwork or other stuff at home. Some simple fidgets you can use. I truly believe that you don't have to go and buy fancy fidgets. Oh, they can get very expensive very quickly. This one wasn't too bad. It was only about like $4, but you can get really expensive ones. You know what? They're a couple of dollars. They're around. But again, there's other fancy ones, but we don't actually have to use them. The main purpose for a fidget is to help with focus and engagement. Now, I've worked with kids of many different ages, and especially like some of my teens, when I'm like, hey, you need to have something that's going to help you focus. They're like, I don't want anybody to know that I have it. And I get that. It's when we're younger, it's a little easier. When we're older and maybe it's something new, it's like, oh, I want something that I can use that other people don't actually really know what that is for. There are some simple things you might have around the house that your child can use, or really other inexpensive options that are not going to be distracting in the classroom. Now, this first one, chewing gum, is a little... okay, it can be distracting, and a lot of schools don't like it because nobody likes gum under the table. But chewing gum has actually been proven to assist in focus and in learning, and especially like in studying. And so like if you were studying math and having peppermint chewing gum, like then later on, like if you're doing the test, chew peppermint gum, and it helps you. They've looked at all of this. It's great. But if you're homeschooling your children and they need something to help them focus, then chewing some gum while they're listening or completing a task is actually very, very helpful. Now, here's a great one. Rubber bands. They're really inexpensive. And what you do is you wear it around your wrist. Okay? And you can like play with it, twist, lightly snap it if you need to. And especially if it's down in your lap, it is not distracting to others around you. It's super easy to replace if it's lost or broken. And it's also not overtly noticeable as a fidget. And I know for teens, this can be like a great one. They just don't want it, or they can keep it in their pocket to play with it. Another thing like for the pocket is a paper clip. This can be great. But rubber bands are wonderful for all kids, or hair bands, or whatever it is. Again, it's just something that we can be doing with our finger. And if it can be done underneath the desk, nobody knows that you're playing with your rubber band. Another one I love is Velcro. Okay, this is like got the tape on it so that they're actually sticky back. And so what you can do is take them. We have the rough side and we have the smooth. Some kids prefer the rough. Some kids prefer like the softer side. Both of them are sensory. Both of them are textured. And what you can do if they have like a permanent desk, you stick it on the underside of the desk and you can rub your fingers along it. They can run it back and forth. Or if they have to move around, then you stick it on the top of like a pencil box or something. Again, they're just there, rubbing their fingers along. Either side, it doesn't really matter. Velcro is super easy, especially the sticky back stuff. And it's only a few dollars to get like a whole big pack of it, so you can be putting it in other places. Another one is an exercise band, and you can get those, or a long length of elastic. This is about $2 worth of thick elastic. Okay, and so you make it in your loop and you can put it around the front legs of a chair or around the legs of the chair. And this means your feet have something to play with. Children's feet can rest on it, lightly bounce. They can like push their foot back and forth so that it's great. And it's so easily removable. So if you have to move from chair to chair, you can do that. You take it off and you take it with you, and you've got these great things. All of these are inexpensive. All of these are not overtly distracting, and they're not something that then everybody's like, maybe, I want to use it, but they are wonderful fidgets for some of our kids. And so these are ones that I have often recommended for people, and I do know that they really, really do work. Seating options. There are some great seating options for kids that need to move or wiggle. As a teacher, I really didn't mind them being in the classroom, but I know that different schools and different places have different feelings about them. But for me, I saw the difference that they made for the kids. And it also honestly meant that I wasn't hearing squeaky chairs. I had one kid that could make any chair squeak. 100 people could sit on this chair and it wouldn't squeak. He would sit on it, it would squeak. You could have 30 different chairs and he would make every single one of those squeak. And it was a little frustrating, but him on this next one, this exercise ball, well, this was great. Great seating option. It means that the body is moving and the brain is engaging. And I remember watching him, like he was never allowed to go up and down because actually that could make me quite seasick. But he would just like wiggle his hips a little bit and like the ball would move, and just these slight little movements, and how well he focused. It was amazing, and I've seen it for so many kids. Now, I know that you can get them now like with feet sort of on them, but I honestly just prefer like the exercise yoga ball because of the way like that it can move and like rock back and forward or to side and side if needs be. Not that expensive. Another one is a wobble stool. And these are particularly sold like to be great for posture, so I really need one of those. But it actually is great, especially for children, letting bodies move enough so that the brain focuses. So the way it is, and it's just that little bit of a wobble, and so like you're sitting on it and it forces you to like sort of sit a certain way. That's great for posture, but for kids, it's got enough of that rock movement with their hips going. It is wonderful. Another one is the wobble cushion. These are really great for the classroom. They are simple, inflatable cushions that go on the seat of a chair. Okay, so this means that you could move it from chair to chair. Like if you have to, it can go into a backpack if needs be. It allows for movement. Like these are probably the easiest and the least expensive of all the seating options. They're not overtly expensive. They're great. We can have them. They're easy to replace, like if we lose. But again, something that can move and can really help children that just need that movement. So 3 simple and great seating options for you, whether in the classroom or at home. Are fidgets worth it? I truly believe that fidgets are vitally important for some children. It can make or break their day for them. It can means that life is easier, whether at the class or at home. Now, do they work for everyone? No, they really don't. And I know that, like, especially in the younger grades, everybody wants what somebody has, okay? Yeah, they're great to play with, and that's great, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it has the same impact as what a fidget does for a child that really needs one. And, this might work for one child, but not for another. And that is okay because each child is unique. So you really actually need to find like the right type of fidget that works best for them. And I know that sort of can like add up quickly if you're thinking, well, I need to buy this one or try this one or try this one. There are so many that we can be using like at home. As I said, rubber bands, a little bit of Velcro. Try some different options to see what works best for them. We need to make sure that they're actually used in an appropriate way and also that they're not disruptive, because we don't want them to become a distraction to the child, to the child, that they're making this big thing, or to others around them. We want something that is easy, that is going to help them to focus and, really just make it a better day for them. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope that this has given you maybe some great ideas of looking around the house and seeing what we could use. Yes, you could invest in some fidget spinners, absolutely, or in a big bag of rubber bands. It's really up to you. Now, here's the giveaway. What I want to do is give away a wobble cushion. These are great, come in all different colors, so you can pick one. And so what I want you to do is be a subscriber or a champion. That's through Patreon. If you're both, you get 2 entries. But being a subscriber, comment below and say, whether or not you need to doodle or do something or move and what is it that you like to do to help you to focus while you are learning or to listen. So comment down below. We are going to draw the winner for that and announce it in 2 weeks' time. Well, thank you so much for watching, for being part of this learning life. If you want to help get these videos out here, I won't say no. You can do that by becoming a champion. So check that out at patreon.com or at my website, LearningThis.Life.